Hello everybody, welcome to day 3, music going across the ether, the airwaves. Hope everyone's doing well, sending good vibes your way. Music is the best thing to cheer you up. So today, I like to put up what we've covered just to have it kind of around as we move on to new things. So let's look here for a second. Remember, we've looked at the way to remember the names of our strings, our open strings. And that was, of course, E, A, D, G, B, E, Ed, 8, dynamite, goodbye, Ed. Okay? And then, of course, we started on 6 of what I call our primary chords. Okay? And that was the A chord, using your 2nd fret. The D chord, using your 1st and 2nd fret. Remember, review the videos. Go back to the videos before this if you've missed some of this, okay? And even if you haven't missed, go back and review, because the key to learning is review, okay? All right, we have come down to our D, and that was on fret 2 and 3, okay? And then I'm going to jump over here. And we looked at our first stretch of our fingers. We're using our 1st, our 2nd, and our 3rd finger with our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd frets. And that was our C chord, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Then we came down to our G chord, and that was our 2nd and 3rd frets. And we're using our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers. Our 3rd finger goes all the way to the bottom E. Or it's actually the high E, okay? And today, this is what I want to start with. I want to start with 3 more of our primary chords. I love to teach 9 primary chords. And I always say that with those 9 chords, you're going to be able to play almost anything that you've ever heard on the radio. It's the coolest thing ever. Suddenly, you're going to realize, wait a minute, this song starts with a D, then it goes to an A minor, then it goes to a G, and I know those chords, okay? So what we're leading towards is being able to start to switch these chords. And that's kind of the key to really being able to start to play your guitar, is being able to switch the chords and then stay steady on the rhythm or stay steady on the strumming. And we looked, let me come back here quickly, we looked at our strumming pattern number 1, okay? There'll be lots of these different patterns, but 1 is going to be kind of your key, basic, fundamental element, right? I always say that in basketball, you got to learn how to make all those layups, you got to learn those free throws and practice them over and over again before you hit your 3-pointers, before you do your fancy bounces through the legs, okay? You've got to learn these fundamentals, all right? So let's come back over, and let's start with our A minor chord, okay? So minor keys, I love them. I love the sound of them. I call them the night chords, or the Batman chords, or the dark chords. They're kind of like the creepy chords, like the foggy Halloween chords, okay? And you'll hear that difference. So what I'm going to do first is I want you to hear that tonic difference or that tone difference, okay? So start out with an A, a regular A that we learned, okay? And that's on our 2nd fret, using our 3 fingers. Remember, you always have to apply pressure and stick your knuckles out, okay? So there's our A. Walking through the park, it's sunny, really cool, right? Now, let's go to our A minor and listen to and I want you to listen to the difference. Think about the images that it conjures up in your mind, okay? Here's our A, sunny day in the park. Here's our A minor, okay? Is our A, la 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 la. Is our A minor, la 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 la. See that difference? It's really cool. So that's why I call them the night chords, the minor keys, okay? So let's take a look on this particular configuration. On this particular chord, we are using our first and our second frets. First and second, okay? And in looking at our charts, remember Ed 8, Dynamite, good, bye, Ed, okay? Let's look at our first fret and the placement of our finger number 1, which is our pointing finger, okay? So let's look where that goes. That is 2 up from the bottom, which is our B string, okay? So let's show you that quickly. 1, 2, okay? That's our number 1 finger on the B on the first fret, okay? There it is, okay? Now, let's look on over to our second fret, and let's try and see where those fingers go from there, okay? We're looking down. I like to, if it's closer to the top, I like to count down on my fretboard, okay? So let's count down from the top, second fret. 1, 2, 3 strings down. 1, 2, 3. What finger is it? Finger number 2. 1, 2, 3. That's what we have so far, okay? Now, let's look at what comes after that. Down here, 1, 2, 3, 4 strings down, which is our G string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right underneath, okay? Stick your knuckles out. Apply that pressure. And strum it together. 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, and... Okay. Now remember, if you're getting kind of a clicking sound, if you're not quite getting it, you need to kind of move your fingers around a little bit. You need to stick your knuckles out more. You need to press a little bit harder. That's what's going to get your tone. That's what it's going to get it to sound. You're going to hear the notes when you can get your fingers positioned correctly. And like I said, don't get frustrated. It takes time. Okay? It also takes a lot of practice. So let's try that again. A minor. Now let's try our strumming pattern. Okay? Which was down, down, up, up, down, up. 2, 3, and down, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, that is our A minor. I love that chord. Okay, let's come back over and let's look at our second minor chord or minor key that we're going to learn today, okay? And that is our D minor, okay? D minor. So let's take a look. Your D minor is utilizing 3 frets, okay? First, second, and third fret, okay? So let's count up from the bottom, or let's look at our first fret first, okay? We're also using our number 1 finger. But this time, it's on the very bottom string, which is our E, or our high E, or our Ed that is on the bottom of our fretboard, okay? So let's take our number 1 finger, let's put it where it belongs, which is on the first fret, bottom string, okay? Okay, now let's take a look at our second fret. How many strings do we count up? 1, 2, 3. And what finger is it? Number 2 finger, okay? Which is our middle. Let's count up 1, 2, 3. Boom! That is our D minor. Or no, not yet. Actually, 1 more to go. Okay, now let's come back over. Let's look at our third fret. And that happens to be your number 3 finger as well. Okay? 1, 2, up from the bottom. 1, 2. D minor. Okay? So it's kind of a stretch. It's going to kind of feel weird. If you feel like you're having trouble getting this finger into this fret, move your fingers over closer to the bars, but don't touch the bars. Make sure they're not over the bars, but a little bit inside the space, which we call the fret. Okay? Stick your knuckles out, apply some pressure. Now, when you're strumming this D minor, we're playing the bottom 3 or 4 strings. We don't want to play up here, because that's a sour note, okay? That's a note, it's not a sour note, it's an E. And an E does not work with the D minor. So let's strum that once. Okay. Now let's do our pattern. 1, 2, 3, and down, down, up, up, down, up, down. Down, down, up, up, down. Down, down, up, up, down, down, up, down. Now let's strum it really fastly. Gotta get your rock and roll stance, alright? Okay, now, cool thing about this one, or I should say all keys are cool, right? So, but they've got different characters, okay? So here's another one of our minor characters. Let's compare that quickly to the D that we learned, okay? And you've got to review your videos to remember this, but let's come back to our D from yesterday, and that's using our 2nd and 3rd frets. Also our number 1, 2, and 3 fingers, okay? So let's listen to that tone, okay? Right? Now let's do our D minor, our night character, our dark character, our walking in the fog character. D. Okay, so that's the difference. You're hearing that tonal difference, that tone difference. Okay, all right, let's come on over. We got one more, and that's going to complete our 9 primary chords. Okay, this one's kind of a funky chord. You're using all 4 of the main fingers that you're going to be using for any of your chords. Okay, so we're using our number 1, pointy, number 2, middle, number 3, lazy finger or ring finger, number 4, pinky. Okay, and this is actually what I would classify as a transitional chord, because it's not usually used as a tonal. It's not usually used as a note that you're going to start a song in necessarily. It'll usually lead in to something, okay? So this is a B7. It's a great chord for blues and country. You're going to use this a lot when it comes to changing from one tone into the next. Transitional chord, that's what I call it, okay? So let's take a look. Again, we're using our 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers on this one. We are using our 1st and 2nd frets, okay? Let's look at fret number 1, isolate each fret first, okay? And let's count down from the top. E, A, D, 1, 2, 3, okay? That's your number 1 finger. 1, 2, 3, okay? 1st fret, 1st finger, okay? 3rd string down, which is your Ed 8 dynamite, your D string, okay? All right, now let's look on over to our 2nd fret, and this is kind of an interesting way to move your fingers. Your number 2 finger, your middle finger, actually goes above your number 1 finger, your pointy, and it goes to the top string, which is your low E, okay? Okay, and that is on your 2nd fret. Low E, 2nd fret, 2nd finger. Okay? Then let's come back over. Let's look at this. Let's count down and see how many strings down our number 3 finger is on. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay? Let's take our number 3 finger, which is our ring finger. 1, 2, 3. There you are. Okay, there's our top 3. Okay? Okay, let me make sure I've got this.